Good Monday morning. It's November 24th. I'm Olivia Calfee. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick, WVLT's daily fastcast that airs at 10:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Well, we begin this morning as the TBI is asking for your help finding a missing man out of Campbell County. Go ahead and take a look at your screen. Police say 63-year-old Charles Green is 5'7" with brown hair and blue eyes. They say he may be driving a 2020 Chevrolet Sonic with Tennessee tags 760BPTT. If you know anything about where Green may be, call the Campbell County Sheriff's Office or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. A Knox County deputy injured in the line of duty is now scheduled to get the surgery he needs. Back in June, we told you about Deputy Dalton Swanger after he was injured while filming On Patrol Live. He was in a coma and placed on a ventilator. Last month, his girlfriend said Swanger got tracheal stenosis after being on the ventilator for so long and needs a complicated surgery to fix it. He does have to go through a few dilation surgeries first before he gets what's called a resection. His girlfriend expressing in a post how grateful she is for the community's support. We're learning new details about what led up to a deadly shooting in Monroe County. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says Adam McGill was shot and killed Friday morning on Big Creek Road. During the investigation, detectives say a woman told them her neighbor, Gregory Scott Williams, went into her home and shot her dog while no one was there. The woman and McGill came home. They saw Williams driving away. After finding the dog, McGill went to confront Williams and was shot. He died from his injuries. Detectives say Williams admitted to shooting the dog and firing a rifle at McGill. Williams is now facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder and aggravated animal cruelty. The TBI says they're investigating after a shooting following deputies shot and killed a man. They say the man shot at them. The Carter County Sheriff's Office says they responded to a vandalism report around 2:30 Saturday afternoon in Johnson City. Deputies say they found a man with a gun who barricaded himself in a home. Officers say they tried non-lethal ways to get him out, but when they entered the room where the man was, he shot at officers. Officers eventually fired back, hitting the man. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The TBI says the shooting is still under investigation. A football player with the University of Alabama at Birmingham is now facing charges of assault and attempted murder. Police say offensive lineman Daniel Mincy allegedly stabbed two teammates at the UAB football facility hours before the Blazers faced off against South Florida on Saturday. Police say it's unclear what motivated the attack. The players are expected to recover. Daniel Mincy is the brother of former Tennessee offensive lineman Gerald Mincy. TWRA is offering a reward this morning for information about an illegal elk killing in Bledsoe County last week. Officials say they received reports of an elk that had been shot on private property near the Ray County line on Tuesday. TWRA says it's offering a $1,000 reward for any information leading to the person who's responsible. Ray County Sheriff Mike Neal will also be personally matching the reward, making it a $2,000 reward. Anyone with information should contact the TWRA Region 3 office. That number is on your screen. It's 931-484-9571. We've also got that number available for you inside your WVLT News app. The Sevier County Animal Shelter is asking for your help this morning after they took in almost 40 rabbits due to a hoarding case. The shelter says it's desperately in need of vegetables and hay for the rabbits. The shelter says the biggest need is any lettuce that is not iceberg. They're also asking for carrots, parsley, celery, and more. Money donations will also be accepted as the rabbits need lots of vet care. You can find the full list of items that are needed and more information in your WVLT News app. Well, adults aren't the only people experiencing homelessness. Teenagers and young adults are as well. Right now, the Knox Community Dashboard on homelessness shows around 2,000 people on average were homeless in the last few months. These groups help people living without a home, as well as those struggling on the brink of homelessness. On average, these groups help about 3,000 people a day. 1 in 5 of those are under 24 years old. The Knox County Community Action Committee has a program to help these younger people. Dion Craig and her son Camden were able to go home because of the Youth Wins program.
So when I first got here, I was a little nervous. I've never been able to have access to a program like this. But as soon as I stepped in, I was welcomed with open arms, not just from the staff, but also other youth like myself. When we have meetings, everyone is able to come together and just, feel a sense of community, not just with me, but also with Camden.
You can learn more about the services these programs offer in the WVLT News app. And we're in the final shopping days for Thanksgiving on Thursday, and there is some relief in the cost for this year's meal. A Wells Fargo analysis found the average cost of this year's Thanksgiving meal is down about 2 to 3%, largely because inflation-sensitive items like beef and eggs aren't on the menu. Savings also depend on your shopping strategy. Stuffing, prepared gravy mix, and fresh cranberries have all dipped between 3 and 4%. And as for the price of turkey, it's down 3.7%.
And now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Sydney Sullivan.
Well, we're kicking off Thanksgiving week nice and dry, but just off towards our west. This is part of a much larger storm system that is going to not only increase our rain chances, but it's also going to bring in that possibility of seeing some isolated storms that could be on the stronger side along with it. But in the near term, dry conditions and the warmth still staying around a little bit longer. We're primarily going to be in the mid to upper 60s this afternoon. So still well above average today into tomorrow. But as those showers and storms roll through, we'll start to really cool things down, getting closer towards Thanksgiving. So looking at the severe risk for tomorrow, it's on the low side. So that means isolated strong to severe storms will be possible as this system approaches us. And it's really going to be fairly isolated, but the main impacts are going to be strong gusty winds. So today, nice and dry, the clouds start to increase as the afternoon progresses. And then once we get past sunset, there is a chance for a few showers working on in for areas like Monticello and Jamestown, that far northwestern portion of our viewing area. But this starts to become more widespread late tonight into tomorrow morning, as we are looking at briefly heavy downpours starting to work on in for that morning commute. If you're traveling tomorrow, please allow plenty of time, because this rain is going to likely impact much of your Tuesday with on and off downpours, heavy at times, and a few rumbles of thunder will be possible really at any point in the day. In addition to that, winds are starting to pick on up, so that's going to be a key factor in what is going to really bring our temperatures down following all of this activity. So we are still looking at scattered downpours throughout tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. I think this is a little bit overdone. I'm hopeful that some of this will break apart a little bit more. And then as we go into Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, we're finally on the tail end of all of this rain. This exits throughout the morning time frame on Wednesday, making way too much drier weather by Wednesday afternoon. So it is going to be a bit more of an active weather pattern for us beginning tonight through Tuesday and sticking around through the early hours Wednesday morning. And as those winds start to pick on up, it brings in that cooler air. So you'll see afternoon highs for Thanksgiving only in the upper 40s, but at least it is coming with more sunshine as we close out the holiday week.
All right, Sydney, thank you. Thousands of SNAP recipients in Tennessee are still waiting on money that was paused during the government shutdown. Partial payments went out for some people earlier this month. The rest was supposed to come last week, but some borrowers haven't received either payment. The Tennessee Justice Center is encouraging you to reach out to your local officials for help. The State Department of Human Services expects everyone to get backlogged payments within the next few days. $200,000 is going to food assistance groups in Knoxville. The money is being rolled out by Knoxville's United Way. The city chipped in half the money. Officials say the money will go to 9 groups who applied for it, including YMCA and Battlefield Farm. About 35,000 people in Knox County rely on SNAP benefits. With Thanksgiving now just a few days away, the FAA expects this year's travel period to be the busiest in 15 years. More than 52,000 flights are predicted for tomorrow ahead of the holiday, and the TSA expects the Sunday after Thanksgiving to be one of its busiest travel days ever. Overall, the TSA projects to screen nearly 18 million people between tomorrow and next Tuesday. Meanwhile, AAA predicts more than 81 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home during the holiday period. That's up 1.6 million from last year. And McGee-Tyson Airport is expecting a lot more people than normal over the next several months. So here's some tips that the airport wants you to know. They say arrive early, no later than 2 hours before your plane leaves. Also, check your flight status before you leave your house and plan parking before you head to the airport as this construction at the airport continues. You can look at real-time parking updates on the airport's website. That is really, really helpful. WVLT proud to be your official station of the Vols. A big win for the team on Saturday after defeating the Florida Gators for the first time in the Swamp since 2003. The Vols scoring touchdowns on its first 4 possessions. How about the defense forcing 4 straight Florida punts? The score 31-0 at halftime. The Gators would eventually get on the scoreboard, but it was a little too late. Tennessee winning 31-11. For their final regular season game, the Vols are returning home for an in-state rivalry matchup against Vanderbilt. The Vols could play spoiler and possibly knock Vandy out of playoff contention. That game is at 3:30 on Saturday. And SEC Nation coming to Knoxville for the big game. The program will be live from Ayers Hall from 10 to noon on the SEC network. This is the 13th time SEC Nation will be in Knoxville. After that show, make sure you catch Volunteer Game Day live from Neyland Stadium at 1:30 on Tennessee Valley Sports Network and streaming right here in your WVLT News app. Well, UT QB Joey Aguilar is now joining an ongoing lawsuit against the NCAA about eligibility. The suit was filed by Vanderbilt's QB Diego Pavia. He claims the current rules reduce the number of years that junior college football players can play in D1 sports after transferring. It also claims the bylaws prevent players from earning money through NIL. If the athletes win, they could be eligible for another year. You can read the entire lawsuit in the WVLT News app. Meanwhile, we're just over a month away from Christmas. Hard to believe. That means East Tennessee Children's Fantasy of Trees fundraiser kicks off this week. It's East Tennessee Children's Hospital's largest fundraising event. It's been a staple in the Knoxville community for 41 years. Money raised goes to help patients at Children's Hospital. The main Fantasy of Trees event begins Wednesday, but tomorrow our Ted Hall and very own Sydney Sullivan will be joining you live for a 30-minute special at 7 o'clock on WVLT. You can stream it through WVLT Plus. And the holidays can be tough on all of our budgets, and unfortunately, some older adults may struggle to meet basic needs. It can also add stress if they have a pet. That's why Knox Paws started their annual holiday donation drive. They're looking for dog and cat food, both wet and dry. You can also donate money. Those donations can be dropped off at a few different locations in Knox County. You can find those in the As Seen On section of the WVLT News app. The drive runs through New Year's Eve.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
On this date, November 24th, 1971, a great mystery began. A man later known as D.B. Cooper hijacked a plane bound from Portland to Seattle. He told the flight crew he had a bomb and demanded $200,000 in ransom. He was paid the money when the plane landed in Seattle. After releasing the passengers, Cooper told the flight crew to refuel and fly to Mexico City. After taking off from Seattle, Cooper opened the plane's door and parachuted over a remote, heavily wooded area of Washington. His location remains unknown. Well, thanks for joining us. Remember, you can stay up to date on WVLT.tv and the WVLT News app and on WVLT's social media pages. Y'all have a great day.